Hi everybody, 11 Institute welcomes all the students of Standard 9th to part 3 of chapter number 6 Science Tissues. And yesterday we have started with the classification of plant tissues and we have been seeing individually about different type of plant tissues. In the previous video lecture we have started with the plant tissues and we have seen the characteristics or properties of meristematic tissues, and specifically we have seen the presence of apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and lateral meristem. So, meristematic tissues, the discussion is now over. We have seen the type of cells. There were few basic characteristics about the specific type of cells that are present in meristematic tissues. Yes, what were the basic properties? They were having a thin cell wall. Their cells were having dense cytoplasm, and apart from that, the cells lack vacuoles. Right, why they lack vacuoles, the reason was explained to you. So these were the three main characteristics of the types of the cells that are present in meristematic tissue. In today's video lecture we are going to start with the permanent tissue, and more specifically in permanent tissue we will focus on simple permanent tissue, and today we will discuss about parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. So the center or the topic for today's lecture is simple permanent tissue, and we will discuss about parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma, which are the three different types of simple permanent tissues given in our textbook. Before moving into that, we will I would like to highlight a small topic or small thing which we have already discussed, that what is the main difference between meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue have continuous cell division, right? Their only purpose is growth of the plant structure. While once this cell division stops, right, they will take up a permanent shape and permanent function, and they will get converted into permanent tissue. Right. Now coming to simple permanent tissue. Right. What is the specific property? Or permanent tissues are of two types: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Why simple and why complex? We have previously discussed this. Here there are only single type of cells. Single type of cells. Here there are more than one type of cells. Right. So today we will discuss about parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Let us move ahead. Before that, we will see a few figures given in the textbook. This is the figure given in textbook. Now try to understand this. This is quite logical. First of all, look over here. What is this? No, suppose this is a stem. I hope you know what is a stem. Suppose this is a stem, right? And there are many branches over here like this. Then there are leaves on it or flowers on it, etc., etc. But suppose this is a stem, right? Or suppose this is a stem. Now, if you take a small section from here like this, if you cut this much part, so it will look like this. And if you place it under the microscope, it will look like this. Right, now what we are doing is we are cutting this much circular portion, a thin slice from over here, and we are now seeing the magnified image of this much border or this much part over here. So the part that you are seeing over here is basically this border. Right, I would like to magnify this also. Right, what you are seeing over here is actually this portion, right, the boundary. Then as you move in, the type of cells inside increase, right. This structure or this much part is highlighted over here. Now we can see there are different types of tissues present over here. There is the outer covering cuticle, epidermis, collenchyma, parenchyma. There is phloem over here. There is xylem over here. Right. The xylems, these are phloems. So different types of tissues are present over here. Right. So Definitely, this epidermis, parenchyma, parenchyma are present on the outer side, xylem and phloem are present on the inner side. So they are given a definite role, and based upon that, they are having a specific place in the parts of plants, right? So we can see that there is an outer covering epidermis. We shall discuss this in the next video lecture. Then there is parenchyma over here, parenchyma over here. So parenchyma and parenchyma might be having some specific function, which we might discuss today. Fine. Moving ahead, we move to simple permanent tissues and let us see the three types of simple permanent tissues. This is the basic elaborative image that we have, and we will discuss a few things over here. Right, the image has been taken from this source. We are very much thankful to them. And now we will move to parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. You can see they are almost same. Here also there are single type of cells. Here also there are single type of cell. Here also there are single type of cells. But there are some differences. You can see there is a thin cell wall, but there are spaces over here. You can see there is some space over here. I can mark it like this. There is some space between the cells. Right. The cell walls are thin and there is some space between them. Now here the cell walls are thin. This is actually the cell wall. This border which is shown over here, that is the cell wall. Then this is another cell wall. So there is no intercellular space between them, and the cell wall is also quite thick. And here the cell wall is yet thick. Right, there is a lignin deposit over here, and much more thicker cell wall is over here. This is sclerenchymatous tissues are actually dead. Right. So first and foremost thing that we would like to remember is the parenchymatous tissues or the cells of the parenchyma tissues are living. The cells of collenchyma tissue are also living, while the cells of sclerenchymatous tissues are dead. Right? They are living, and they are dead. Secondly, the primary function of parenchymatous tissue is to store food or to provide support or packaging. The primary function of parenchyma tissue is to provide flexibility and mechanical support to plants, and the function of sclerenchyma tissue, right, is to make the plants rigid and strong or to provide strength to the plants. Fine. This is the basic difference between them. Now let us see the image that is given in textbook. Yes, so this one more image is given here for comparison of the three types of simple tissues over here. You can see the first image that you see over here, the first image is of parenchyma tissue. Let me write over here parenchyma. Then the second image that you are seeing over here is of collenchyma, and this both, right, that is the image of sclerenchyma tissue. I hope this is quite clear to you, right? That is the image of sclerenchyma tissue. Fine. Now you can see the cell walls are thin and there are some intercellular spaces. You can see there are thick cell walls, right? And the intercellular space is almost not over there, and there are thick cell walls. Yet more thick cell walls, but they are lignified. There is a substance known as lignin present in the cell wall. These are living, and these are dead. Right? This is a longitudinal section, right? And you can see the basic difference in the appearance or in the structure of parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. If you can remember this difference with the help of this picture, it would be quite easy to remember the theoretical portion regarding this. Right? Let us move ahead and now see each and every one of them in detail. So, the first among them is parenchyma. So, for each and every tissue, we will like to highlight three or four things. The first one is location, right? Where exactly in plants they are present. Second one is their structure, right? Like shape, size, what are they made up of, what are they composed of, etc. And the last aspect that we would discuss or see is the function or role of that particular tissue. Now these three are interrelated to each other, right? They are quite interrelated to each other. Why they are interrelated to each other? Based upon the location at a particular place in plant, they might have different structures because different locations will have different requirement. And based upon the difference in their structures, they would be having some specific role or function. So these three aspects are quite interrelated to each other. Let us now discuss about the parenchyma tissue as per the textbook. Location. A few layers of cells beneath the epidermis are generally simple permanent tissue. So if you can see that, suppose this is a stem and we cut a thin slice from over here, and if I highlight it like this is a thin slice, and suppose this outer covering is epidermis, then few layers after the epidermis, these cells which are present just below the epidermis, right, these cells are actually the parenchyma, right, just below the layer of epidermis, but this is continuous like this, the entire border, right, these few layers of cells just below the epidermis, the outer covering, are known as parenchyma, or generally they are present over there. Parenchyma is the most common simple permanent tissue, मतलब બહુ common છે plant ના ગમે તે part માં જોવા મળી શકે છે. It is quite common, right? Wherever you can see there is some space and you don't have any other tissue, you can easily have this structure. It consists of relatively unspecialized cells. Yes, relatively unspecialized cells with thin cell walls. With thin cell walls. So the first property that we would like to mark is unspecialized cells. And these unspecialized cells have thin cell walls. Now, what do you mean by unspecialized? See, parenchyma do not have a larger role to perform. They have to perform the role of storing food or storing the substances produced by plants. And apart from that, they might fill some spaces between the tissues. So they do not have a highly specialized function. They do not have a great unique function to perform. They are having some common function to perform, like to store food. And hence, for that, they do not require any special structure. They require just a normal cell which can store the food. So they are unspecialized cells compared to other. Few cells are having thick cell walls, few cells are having some lignin deposits in them, so they might be having some specific function. Parenchyma is not having a larger role. Why? Because it is a common simple permanent tissue, right? They are living cells. Yes, this is very important. They are living cells. So we will write over here living cells. They are usually loosely arranged, thus large spaces between the cells are found in the tissues, right? And this tissue stores food. So here I can write the cells are loosely packed. Based upon that, I can write that intercellular space is more. And for the last point, I can write that what they do is, what is their function? They store food. So the first 5 points over here, which we have written in short, we have created a summary over here, right, represent the structure of the type of cells that are present in parenchyma or a simple parenchyma tissue. And this is the way you should read on your own. See, whenever you read a particular topic from textbook, you have to make your own summary or you have to make your own short points for a better remembrance so that you can compare them, right? Please come out of your primary overview that something is given in CW, you will read it and you will score good marks in exam. That is not possible, right? You have to understand a topic. Don't rely on CW itself, or don't rely on some specific question and answers that here this will be asked. Nothing is fixed, anything can be asked, and you have to remember everything. And rather than remembering, you should develop a better understanding for a particular topic, right? So, unspecialized cells, thin cell walls, living cells, loosely packed means there are spaces. Suppose this is first cell, then there is second cell, third cell, fourth cell. So there is a space between them, right? There is a space between them. So intercellular space is more. The space between the cells is more. And what is the function? They store food. I hope this is quite clear to you. Fine. So this is the image for the parenchyma tissue. You can see there are intercellular spaces, right? There are intercellular spaces over here. Now we can also see there is a large vacuole present over here. This is not empty space. What is this? This white portion that you are seeing over here is actually a vacuole. What is it? It is actually a vacuole. You can see how much large space it is occupying. And this dark portion that you are seeing over here is actually cytoplasm, right? This dark boundary that you are seeing over here is not cell wall, but that is cytoplasm. This black thin line is your cell wall. You can see due to this large vacuole, the nucleus is shifted to the border towards the cell wall. So there is a large vacuole over here. We can see it in the diagram, but it is not mentioned in the textbook. Hence, we are not going into that much of detail for the vacuoles. Right, one more image. You can see over here, there are intercellular spaces. The cell walls are thin, right, and they contain vacuoles. I hope this is clear to you with the help of image. Now there is some specialization in parenchyma. In some situations, the parenchyma contains chlorophyll and performs photosynthesis, and at that time it is called chlorenchyma. At that time it is called chlorenchyma, right? Not always, not everywhere, right? If the parenchyma tissue is filled with chlorophyll, then that particular tissue or that particular portion or that much cells can perform photosynthesis, because you very well know that in order to perform photosynthesis, chlorophyll is required. So if you are having parenchyma which contains chlorophyll, right? So instead of the parent, we will use the word chlor, and now we will name it as chlorenchyma. The parenchyma which has chlorophyll is known as chlorenchyma, and now as it is having chlorophyll, it can perform a special function. What is that special function? That is photosynthesis. See, they were unspecialized. They did not have anything inside them. But if they store chlorophyll, then they can perform photosynthesis, and hence they are now known as chlorenchyma. I hope this is clear to you. Moving ahead. In aquatic plants, large air cavities are present in parenchyma. What is present? Large air cavities are present in parenchyma. To help them float, such a parenchyma type is called erenchyma. Right? So again, we are having parenchyma, and this parenchyma has air filled inside it. So instead of this parent word, we will use the word air, and it will give us erenchyma. So if there are air bubbles present inside the parenchyma, then such a tissue is known as erenchyma. Instead of parenchyma, we use the word erenchyma, where this is generally found in aquatic plants. And why, in what way it is helping? It is helping the aquatic plants to float. It is helping the aquatic plants to float. Right, now we can understand why they can float. I hope you all have visited water park, right? And you know that in water park, all of us definitely don't know how to swim. So they provide us tubes, right? They provide us tubes. And what is filled inside the tube? Air. Now you can see the tube will never sink. It will float on the surface of water. Why? Because air is filled inside it. Similarly, you play with ball in swimming pool, right? So ball is ultimately filled with air, and due to that air, it will not sink, but it will float on the surface. Similarly, if a particular structure of plant, right, suppose leaf or suppose flower has parenchyma, and in that parenchyma, if there is presence of large air cavities, then such plant part will be able to float on the surface of water, and this generally happens in aquatic plants, right? And such parenchyma is known as arenchyma, right? So now be very clear and don't be confused. We were over here, we are discussing permanent tissue. In that we are having two parts: simple, complex. Today we are discussing simple. In simple we are having three parts: parenchyma, then collenchyma, don't be confused, and last one is sclerenchyma. Now in parenchyma we have seen three things. One is a simple normal parenchyma. Then if chlorophyll is filled, it is known as chlorenchyma. And if air is filled, it is known as arenchyma. So don't be confused about this. These are nothing but some specific modifications of the parenchyma. It can be simple, no modification. If chlorophyll is filled, then it is known as chlorenchyma. If air is filled, then it is known as arenchyma. Don't confuse this with these. Right? These are different types of simple tissues, while chlorenchyma, arenchyma are different types of parenchyma actually. Fine. I hope this is clear to you. Yes. So now I request you to please pause the video and write this inside your CW. Right, please write this in CW. Please underline like this. Please have this highlighted that this is location, this is structure. Right, this is the function actually. The tissue stores food. You can write over here that this is function, or you can say that role of this tissue is to store food. Right, for chlorenchyma, what is the specific function? It performs photosynthesis, and for arenchyma, it helps the aquatic plants to float. Right. So please pause the video and write this down in your CW. Alright, I hope you have written them. Let us now move ahead. Yes, so this is the image that shows us chlorenchyma and arenchyma. You can see air cavities are filled. Right, so it is arenchyma and you can see a green pigment chlorophyll is filled inside. Hence it is known as chlorenchyma. Yes, one thing I would like to mention is that if possible, please try to draw this one diagram. You can draw the one which was given in textbook also. Yes, I will show you this one. You can draw this for parenchyma just for a better idea. Similarly, when collenchyma gets over, you can draw this, and when sclerenchyma gets over, you can draw this. Please try to draw this parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Let us move ahead, and now we will see the next simple permanent tissue, collenchyma. Right? See, just associate these two things. Just link these two things. Collenchyma, flexibility of plants. These two things are almost synonymous. We can easily bend the parts of plants. We can easily twist them. We can do all these things due to presence of this tissue collenchyma. See, just compare. Suppose you are having a pencil. You are having a pencil like this, right? Suppose you are having a pencil, and if you try to bend it from over here, it will break into two pieces. Why? Because it lacks flexibility. It will just break into two pieces. It will not turn also, it will not bend. But if you are having a stem, the part of the plant called stem, and if you try to bend it from over here, it will not break easily. Yes, plants also break down. The parts of the plants also break down, but not easily. You cannot break this stem by just twisting it or bending it. You have to work hard enough. Try it. Take any stem and bend it from between. Right? It will become like this. But it will not break from over here. In order to break this, you have to either use a scissor, right? Or you have to twist it, twist it, twist it. You have to stretch it and you have to work hard enough. So they do not break easily. They are having flexibility, and this flexibility is due to presence of a special type of tissue which is parenchyma. So definitely parenchyma would show some strength which provides flexibility to the plants. Let us now discuss about parenchyma. Yes. So this is how the cells of parenchyma looks. You can see, right? Thick cell walls are present over here and no intercellular space. This is one particular cell, this is another cell, and you can see there is no space in between them, right? And the corners are also thick. Fine. The flexibility in plants is due to another permanent tissue called parenchyma. See, I already told you, please associate these two words, flexibility in plants, and it is due to the presence of tissue called parenchyma, right? Location: we can find this tissue in leaf stalks below the epidermis. Where? Leaf stalks, just below the epidermis. This is the location of the parenchyma. It is present in other parts of plants also, but more prominently it is present in the leaf stalks below the epidermis as per our textbook. Structure: the cells of this tissue are living. See, again I am highlighting this. They are living, elongated, and irregularly thickened at the corners. So their corners will be thick. You can see the corners are thick compared to this surface. This is the middle part of the cell. These are the corners. You can see the corners are thick. It is written over here, thickened corners. The corners of all the cells are irregularly thickened. Means the cell will have a less width over here and it will be thick at the corners. There is very little intercellular space. Very little. I can say almost no intercellular space, but in textbook it is written very little intercellular, so we will write very little intercellular space, which means that the space between two cells is very less, right? Function: it allows bending of various parts of plant like tendrils, stems of climbers without breathing, right? So I can summarize over here that it provides bending without breaking, right? So if you are able to bend the parts of plants but they do not break, then this specific property or this specific virtue is provided to the plants with the help of this tissue called chyma, right? They are living, they are irregularly thickened at the corners, there is very less intercellular space, right? And it provides bending of different parts of plants like tendrils, stems without breaking, right? And in this textbook it is not given, but one thing I would like to mention for extra knowledge is this cell wall is thick due to presence of a substance known as pectin. Presence of a substance known as pectin. Pectin is nothing but a type of carbohydrate. You need not to go in detail that what is pectin, but just try to remember this word for other types of exams like Olympiad, this, that, etc. And just for general knowledge, right? That there are pectin deposits in the cell wall of parenchyma. Generally the cell wall is made up of cellulose. Generally the cell wall is made up of cellulose of plants. Here, apart from cellulose, there is one more deposition, that is of pectin. One more substance is present over here. which is pectin. Right, just remember this for differentiating between different types of different types of simple permanent tissues. So again, I request you to please pause the video and write this much down in your CW. Alright, I hope you have written this about the collenchyma in your CW, the location, the structure, and the function. Fine, sorry, one point was missing. It provides mechanical support. Please add this. It provides mechanical support also. Right? Please write these two functions. This was missing. Please add this function. It provides mechanical support. Right? So, based upon this, according to the previous textbook, there was one general notion about collenchyma, or it was known by one more virtue or name, which is like this. I will write over here. Right? Collenchyma is also known as living mechanical tissue. Living mechanical tissue, because the cells are living and it provides mechanical support, hence they were known as, or they are known as, living mechanical tissue. But this is not given in the textbook this year, right? So you will not write this anywhere in the exams, but this is just for your general knowledge that collenchyma are also known as living mechanical tissue, right? Moving ahead, now we will learn about sclerenchyma. You can see this is the image of sclerenchyma. You can see yet more thick cell walls are present over here. There is a pinkish appearance over here, and that is due to the deposition of lignin. Due to the deposition of lignin in their cell walls. So, in the normal parenchyma, there are only cellulosic cell walls. In collenchyma, apart from cellulose, there is pectin, and in sclerenchyma, apart from cellulose, there is lignin deposit. Right, there is deposit of lignin in the cell walls of the sclerenchymatous tissue. Find one more image. You can see thick cell wall of sclerenchyma. There is a very much thick cell wall, and this thickness is due to lignin. Right, the deposits of lignin. Let us move ahead and see what is given in textbook. One more permanent tissue is sclerenchyma. It is the tissue which makes the plant hard and stiff. Hard and stiff. Now you can compare. There was parenchyma, which was storing food. Then there is collenchyma, which provides flexibility. And then now we are having over here sclerenchyma, and sclerenchyma makes the plant hard and stiff. In short, it makes the plant strong, or it provides strength. Right, so this is the basic comparison of roles of different simple permanent tissues. We have seen the husk of a coconut, right? The husk of a coconut જોયું છે ને ભાઈ નારિયેળની ઉપર જે પેલું હોય ને hair જેવું structure, જે husk હોય, જે ઉપરનો hard હોય, right? It is made up of sclerenchymatous tissue. એટલે જ એનો બહારનો part tough હોય છે, right? Why it is tough, strong or hard? Because the husk of coconut, right? The husk of coconut is made up of sclerenchymatous tissue. It is made up of sclerenchymatous tissue. This is an important thing to remember for one mark answer. Structure. The cells of this tissue are dead. Yes. The cells of this tissue are dead. In parenchyma they were living. In collenchyma they were living. Right. Next. They are long and narrow as the walls are thickened due to lignin. Walls are thickened due to lignin. Often these walls are so thick, cell walls are thick, that there is no internal space inside the cell. There is no internal space inside the cell. Now don't confuse this with intercellular space. what it is written over here, internal space, means suppose this is a sclerenchyma cell. So this space inside the cell, there is enough space. Now if this cell wall becomes thick, right, if the cell wall becomes thick like this, then the space inside will decrease, right, the space inside will decrease. You can see there is very less space inside. Why? Because this wall is thick. This wall is so much thick that the space inside has decreased. I hope this is clear to you. This wall is thin due to the presence of lignin, right? And you can see, first of all, if you compare with parenchyma, there is more space inside the cell. See, not between the cells. We are not discussing the space between the cells. We are discussing about the space that is inside the cell for now, right? So space inside the cell is very much less. Apart from that, the space between the cells is also less, right? Intercellular space is already less, but apart from that, the space inside the cell is also less. The first thing that you have to be clear about is that tissues are dead. Then the walls are thickened due to the presence of lignin. This will be our second point. And these cell walls are so thin that internal space inside the cell is less. These are the three basic characters that we have to remember for the sclerenchyma tissue. Location. This tissue is present in stems, right? Where present in stems around the vascular bundles. Vascular bundles means where xylem and phloem are present. We will discuss them in the upcoming video lectures. Vascular bundles means where xylem and phloem are present. In surrounding the under, we will see this sclerenchymatous tissue. In the veins of leaves, ख्याल है ना? Suppose this is a leaf, and very sorry that I am not that good at drawing, right? But these are the leaf veins, right? So near these veins, in these veins also, right? You can see this, there are some small structures like this in the leaf if you observe it closely, and in those veins also sclerenchyma is present. And apart from that, hard covering of seeds and nuts. Whenever you see a fruit, their seed or nuts, right, the hard covering is due to the sclerenchyma tissue. Now you can correlate that hard covering, and you can clearly correlate this with they make the plant hard and stiff, right? So obviously, I hope you don't find any problem in understanding this. Fine. Function. It provides strength to the plant parts. It provides strength to the plant parts. And one more thing I would like to tell you is, please add this point over here below this. Right. After writing this first function, don't write this point over here, write this point over here below this, that it makes, right, it makes the plant part hard and stiff. So this will be our first function. And secondly, we will write this, that it makes the plant parts hard and stiff. I hope this is clear to you about the sclerenchyma. So again, I request you to please pause the video and write this down in your CW. I hope you have written this. Let us now move ahead and see some question answers pertaining to this. Yes. Name the types of simple tissues. Following are the different types of simple tissues: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Very much easy. Where is apical meristem found? Where is apical meristem found, my dear friends? Apical meristem is found in actively growing parts of plants like shoot apex and root tips. This was from the previous video lecture. And the next one is, which tissue makes up the husk of coconut? We definitely know that it is the sclerenchyma tissue. that makes up the husk of coconut? See, this question can be modified also. Which tissue is present in the nuts or in the hard part of plants or seeds? We can write sclerenchyma. So these three are the short answers according to the exercises of textbook. Please pause the video and write this down in your CW. I hope you have written them. Let us now move ahead. Differentiate between parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma on the basis of their cell wall. But my dear friends, we will not just differentiate on the basis of cell wall. We will differentiate on the entire aspects, right? We will write all the points of difference between them, right? So let us see the difference. Now we already know that, right? Cell walls are thin, cells are loosely packed. In parenchyma, cell walls are thick, cell walls are thick. Here, in parenchyma, the cell wall is made up of cellulose. In collenchyma, the cell wall is made up of pectin. And in sclerenchyma, the cell wall is made up of lignin. For parenchyma, there is large space between cells, very little intercellular space, and here also very little intercellular space. What is the function of parenchyma? It stores food. For collenchyma, it provides flexibility to the plants, right? And for sclerenchyma, it makes the plant organs hard and stiff. So these are the differences between parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Any two differences can be asked, like differentiate between parenchyma and collenchyma, or differentiate between collenchyma and sclerenchyma, or differentiate between the parenchyma and sclerenchyma. That can be also asked. And this question can be also asked, that compare and contrast about parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. In that case, you have to write all three tables, right? So this is a very important question according to me as far as exams are concerned, right? And my dear friends, you have to write each and every detail and study it. Fine. So again, I request you that once that with this video that's over, you have to write this question also in your CW. In your CW. Fine. So we have seen the simple permanent tissue today. Tomorrow we will see in the next video lecture about two more specific tissues, that is epidermis, and we will see a special type of cell called stomata, and then we shall move to the complex permanent tissues. Right, so here we end our video lecture. Thank you very much for listening. Please work seriously. I have been calling few parents daily, and they suggest that some of the students are working very fine, while some of the students they just watch the video lecture and don't write or complete the CW. I would just say that you are just wasting your time, my dear friends. See, every problem should be treated as an opportunity. If there is a problem that you cannot attend school or you cannot attend class, fine, then that should be taken as an opportunity. What more you can do from the extra time that you are getting, right? So please utilize your time wisely. I would suggest that, else it is your life, your decision. But please don't regret that you have wasted your time ultimately in the later part of your life. Fine. So we end the video lecture over here, and we will now meet in the next video lecture very soon. Till then, take very good care of yourselves and your family. Goodbye.